that air? You're good?
Got it. We're good.
All right, terrific. Well, this will, like I said, this will be the easiest interview you'll ever do. Whenever we're gonna go through some questions. I hope you got to see some of them ahead of time. And okay, well,
Hopefully.
Believe me, it's nothing that we're not gonna hit you with anything you don't know.
Okay. If I can I skip questions?
Yeah, you just say I don't want to answer that, or I don't feel like comfortable, and
Pass.
all right.
The entire thing now.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
no, no.
Yeah, pass. Our job, my job is to make you look good. So I'm not gonna do
Okay.
anything to jeopardize that, because they can. If I do that, they can take me out and, fire me or beat me up. So
I could take you out.
yeah, you can. Yeah, so sergeant desist. You can do it. So we'll just get started and.
Sounds good.
Just start up by telling me why you joined the Army.
Well, I always wanted to join the Army since I was about 7 years old. I grew up with 2 older brothers at the time, and always rowdy, playing with toy guns and remaking movies about the military. And just when I got older, I took a small break and then joined when I was 20.
What were some of the movies that sort of inspired you?
The Rambo and mostly the Rambo.
Did you ever do Red Dawn? Because I know Red Dawn when I was a kid, we'd run up in the woods and.
It's more vigilantes than it is military.
That is
I
true.
thought.
So you just watch Rambo and like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So you're 20 years old. What was sort of the moment that you said, okay, now's the time I'm ready to join, walk into the office and sign the papers? Was there a moment there that just
I don't think there was a moment. I just I put it off for a little bit. Started working, and I said no, don't want to work doing other different jobs. I want to join the military. So.
And how did it feel, when you got into basic training and going through training, and what was it that you really wanted to do, I guess?
Well, I knew first off the bat that I wanted to join the Ranger Regiment, and I went into the recruiter and told him, hey, I want a Ranger contract. He said they didn't have any at the time. I was like, well, I'll come back when you do. And somehow they got a call, and he said, hey, yeah, we got one left. And that was the big part, was getting into the Ranger Regiment.
Why did you want to become a Ranger? I mean, most people who come may not have never heard of the Rangers. Why did you want to be a Ranger?
Because they're one of the most elite forces of the Army, and jump out of airplanes, shoot a lot of guns, work with some of the best soldiers in the special operations community.
And did you hear about them when you were a kid, or is it just one of those things you researched as you got older?
My cousin was actually serving in the 2nd Ranger Battalion when I was finishing up high school, debating on when or what I was going to do. And he explained a lot to me what the regiment did, and that was a sell for me.
Oh, you just had that moment of like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. Is that kind of what happened?
I figured if you're gonna go for something, go for the best.
Well, you certainly succeeded. What did it once you? I mean, I know anyone who's in the Army knows how tough it is to become a Ranger. And what was it? What was it like for you after you completed the schools and you got the patch? What was that moment like?
Being part of the Ranger Battalion is a lot different. There's a misconception about a Ranger being Ranger qualified and being in Ranger Regiment. And once completing the course to get into Ranger Regiment, it's almost the same feeling for the guys that complete buds and go to SEALs. It's like, oh, okay, I'm in. I made it in, now I got to maintain what I'm doing. And it was great being part of the team. As far as Ranger School, it was kind of a little suck fest to check the block, to get your tab and stay in Ranger Regiment as a leader.
Now, how many times have you deployed as a ranger?
I've deployed 8 times, twice to Iraq and 6 to Afghanistan.
8 times, each one a year long, or how long does a ranger deploy?
It fluctuates, depends on the mission at the time.
And all the deployments were like high.
All of my deployments were short deployments.
Okay, but they were like, rangers. You guys don't sit in garrison.
No, they
garrison
were.
airfields. You get into the thick.
They were. The up tempo was pretty extreme in all of them.
Leroy, you can say that we run 300 to 400 missions a rotation,
Okay.
Okay.
What about the timeline?
roughly 4 months,
Okay.
depending on
Okay.
the mission.
Was
Okay. So what's the op tempo like on a typical deployment
roughly 300 to 400 missions.
in just a few months?
Anywhere around 4 months.
Wow, that says a lot. What's it been like for you as a soldier, as a ranger, going through all those deployments? I mean, you probably working harder than most soldiers are, and was it tiring, or just because your ranger ethos keeps pushing you onward?
Love every minute of it. I mean, it's you see the good stuff that you get to do throughout the day, and the changes. Having been deployed so many times since 2002 till now, you see the developments and how well it's helped out the both countries that we've been in. So it's keeps you motivated as doing all those extra days and long missions.
Now, if we could, I'd like to start talking about May 26th, if that's okay. And I'd really like to hear your version of events of really what happened that day. So I guess we can just start at the beginning. What was the mission for that day?
The mission, we were supposed to capture a high-value target in the Paktika province of Afghanistan, and we were inserted by Chinooks into a small kind of rural area, few compounds, and we went in and ended up getting shot through both my legs. Another guy next to me getting wounded, and picked up a hand grenade that had been thrown after engaging the enemy, keeping updates. I picked an enemy hand grenade, came in, pineapple hand grenade right next to our position in the middle of me and my guys, and I reached over, grabbed it, went to attempt to throw it away, and severely, amputated my hand, and kept going through this medical treatment, tourniqueted myself, checked on my guys, called it up, and made it to the CCP. Fortunately, one of our soldiers who was in the same area was fatally wounded, and later paid the ultimate sacrifice.
That's never easy. One thing I noticed, I mean, I can only read about what you guys do, and we just sit in admiration and awe, but also, I mean, I've done a lot of these interviews for and stuff for previous Medal of Honor recipients. I know one thing that struck me unusual about your mission is, like, most of those guys were operating at night. They were ambushed. You guys were going in broad daylight and actually, attacking. I mean, that's very. Is that kind of a lot? Something that you did a lot?
It's a little out of our norm.